Okay, so Naruto Shippuden 280. A lot of people had questions, like, is this a filler? Is it a canon? I knew it was a filler, but there were some things that kind of did surprise me, like from the preview as well. But after watching the episode now that I've gone, actually watched the full thing, it is obvious that yes, it's filler. Don't worry, they didn't ruin anything on here. So and actually, this is actually kind of an entertaining episode. There was a few times where I actually laughed. Like it wasn't like boring filler. It kind of I was worried for a while. Are they gonna like ruin like Sasuke's return or Deidara not being in the puppet? But we'll get to that in a second. So it starts off with just conquer. Well, actually, it starts off with them talking about the white Zetsus and how they've it was from a previous episode, but it's just kind of like I guess you could say like a flashback kind of. And then it goes to where Kankuro is and the rest of the team, and you see Deidara's still he's still like he can't escape. He's screwed at the moment. He's just sitting in the puppet. The lightning style is his weakness. But all of a sudden we see a some kind of like I guess like someone in armor come along. You can't ever tell who they are with it before they take the helmet off or anything like that. But come to find out, it's a white Zetsu, and we actually see I believe it's Anuki's granddaughter, or yeah, granddaughter, and we see her coming up. It's the way they walk slowly. Since I know it's filler, I'm like. I always have this thing in my mind, like, is it a white Zetsu clone? Is it a white Zetsu? But it was actually her. But now, the person in the armor now was a white Zetsu, and he says, hold on, I'm going to get you out of here for old time's sake. So he starts, trying to, open it and whatnot. And right before, I guess, he's able to, get him free, Nuki's granddaughter comes, and talks to Deidara. Keeps calling him brother. It's kind of weird. It's like, just call him Deidara, please. But she, talks to him. Tries to get info out of him. She says, "Oh, come on, you're dead already. Just tell us." But he refuses. And then like this other shinobi comes up to the white Zetsu. He hasn't been found out yet. But the guy goes up to him and goes, "Mountain." And the white Setsu, he doesn't know what to do. He's just like, oh shit. And like he gets like sliced, and it's like, it was a white Setsu. And then they all come out from the ground, and Deidara, so the white Setsu left a sword, kind of in the puppet, and Deidara takes the sword and somehow frees himself. And once he does, he's like, oh shit, I don't have any detonating clay. So he runs off with White Zetsu, and I gotta say, White Zetsu is really just pathetic. So he doesn't fight the other allied shinobis. He actually just kind of like falls down or just like jumps out in front of them and doesn't do anything as they just like tackle him. It's like, God, man. It's like you're even Deidara says you're weak. He's like, I was just trying to buy us some time. Yeah, 'cause that's all you can do with this. I don't know. He's just so pathetic. And so after that, you see Deidara. He's like trying to collect clay while Zetsu, he's watching over. And it turns out that while the allied shinobis are coming, Deidara has like mines set up, and he just and you see him go off, but I don't remember anyone actually being killed or injured by it. But then that's when Deidara runs out and it explodes. He detonates himself. Still, I mean, and they have some like no-name shinobi like try to come up to him with lightning. He's like, "That's not enough, bro. Sorry." And so he detonates himself. Mifune, barely saves the other guy. Everyone seems to be okay though, and so they just end up getting away, or they don't get away for good. But you see Deidara and White Zetsu, and all of a sudden, someone comes up, and it's Sasuke Uchiha, or what it appears to be Sasuke Uchiha. And this is kind of weird. This is where Deidara, he has like it seems to be kind of like a weird obsession with Sasuke. It's like, I don't know. He was told that he was told by Inuki's granddaughter that he was, Sasuke was still alive, and that's when like Deidara freaks out. I thought he had already figured that out, though. I thought he already knew that Sasuke was alive, but I don't know. That might have been a mistake on the filler part. But anyway, he has like this. He keeps talking about him and like all this stuff, like "I'll make you scream," blah blah blah, blah. And anyway, so Sasuke is like, "Where's Naruto?" And he's like, "No, you're ignoring me. Come on." And so Sasuke is like, "Okay, I have no business with you. Bye." So he runs away. So Deidara is like, "Oh, screw you. No, you don't." So he follows him. White Zetsu is getting owned in the background, and we see so he finally catches up with Sasuke, and then all of a sudden, nope, it's not Sasuke, it's the Inuki's granddaughter again. She tricked him, and it's kind of weird because like I don't know why I guess it makes sense to get people to watch the episode. They like preview Sasuke in it, but it's like, oh, that's a big troll. I mean, if you're gonna preview it, it's like, well, I mean, Deidara and Sasuke. It'd be like an old rematch. But, whatever. And, one thing I have to say about this episode is it had good animation. It really had good animation. They've been doing that, a lot recently. The previous episodes have good animation, and so have the new ones. But, even though the animation was good, some of the facial expressions made me like laugh. Like you see Mifune, like he uses the sword, and then someone comes up to him and says, "Hey, can I have that back?" And he's like, it's just like it made me laugh. It's like out of character. And then Deidara does this really weird face when he like sees Sasuke or the Sasuke clone under the moon. And I'm not even going to imitate what he did. It was really kind of almost disturbing. It's like, what the hell? It's just very out of character for some of these people. But by the way, after we see Deidara be tricked by Inuki's granddaughter, that's when he gets hit by lightning, or not hit by lightning on the sword. And while he's weakened, I guess you could say, that's when Kankuro grabs him with the puppet and seals him back up. And that's where it ends, basically. And then Dieter is kind of like, he's kind of cool about it. He's like, oh, well, I guess that's just how it happens sometimes. It's like, oh, so you went out of your way and did all this crap, and all of a sudden you get captured again. It's okay, though, because I'm at my home. Like, whatever. But anyway, pretty funny filler. I mean, it made me laugh. It wasn't like awesome action, really. But it was pretty funny. It made me laugh, especially those weird facial expressions at times. Very strange, but whatever. It was actually kind of the highlight of the episode, I guess you could say. Well, that's all I've got for this review. Let me know what y'all think. Did y'all find those facial expressions weird or out of place or funny or whatever? And what did you think about the episode? Was it entertaining? Was it? I mean, I thought it was better than most filler, but opinions are opinions, so just leave your comment. And that's all I got for this review, so see y'all next time.